ton of rain across the states. I want to give you a little recap of that. For the hill country, there was an exceptional amount, a bullseye zone with 8 to 9 inches. For Dallas-Fort Worth, it was between 2 to 4, and we didn't see much of anything. Maybe you saw an isolated sprinkle, but you were exception, not the rule. Now, this afternoon is when we've got a better chance of seeing some of these showers sinking down to the I-10 corridor. For now, they're hanging out for our northern cities and counties, barely grazing Huntsville, but you notice there's another piece of energy passing the I-35 corridor, and that has a higher likelihood of getting to us right around 2 o'clock this afternoon. Live look outside, we got a lot of moisture in the air, and that will get wrung out as that slow stationary front moves through. 68 degrees this morning because of the cloud cover. We're a few degrees below where we were yesterday, but the heat definitely ramps up again for this afternoon. We're looking at a high of 86. It's a 30% chance for some isolated showers, another 20% chance for early Saturday. And I'm thinking of dropping that Sunday rain chance altogether. The end of the weekend looks nice and dry. There were several areas that were evacuated as a precaution, but luckily that flash flood warning was downgraded to a flood warning, and then eventually the storms did move out of the way. A couple of other spots across the Lone Star State got some good healthy downpours, like the Dallas-Fort Worth area, 2 to 4 inches there. We didn't really see much of anything yesterday. Today is our turn. We're not going to see a lot, but we will get an isolated shower chance mainly for this afternoon. This morning, a couple of showers starting to graze our northern cities and counties in Huntsville. It's the second piece of energy that's passing through the I-35 corridor that gives us the better chance for some showers later on this afternoon. So here's the timing of that. 2 o'clock, we're starting to see some showers building in along the I-10 corridor, some of them along 5969 towards Livington and down 288. Now this is a stationary front, so we do have a chance for another round of rain later on this evening. So my best advice for today is just keep your umbrella in the back of your seat. Some of us are not going to see any rain at all, but a few of us will get a quick healthy downpour, and then the rest of the evening quiets down until tomorrow morning, very early in the morning. So heads up. I know lots of folks are training for that Chevron Marathon coming up in January, and you get up early on Saturday. Well, it looks like this could be pretty messy, so you might want to postpone your Saturday morning run to Sunday morning because it looks a lot better then. Notice by 10 o'clock, so late morning, that stationary front is along the coastline, and then things look nice and clear for the rest of your Saturday plans. Sunday plans look clear as well. Monday early morning starts off clear, but then there's a much bigger front that's going to move into the picture. I'll tell you more about that here in a second. Now, the incoming rain is a good thing because we're starting to see some pretty bad drought conditions, especially for our western cities and counties. In the red, Columbus down to Wharton County near El Campo under an extreme drought also for the hill country. So those inches of rain that came down yesterday should help improve that. And the general picture is starting to really hone in on some higher rain chances as we head into the start of the coming month. Wetter than normal for a huge chunk of the U.S. And then in terms of the temperature outlook, we're also going to see a colder than normal trend. And you'll notice that when I show you the next 10-day temperature trend. As for right now, though, we are warm. Remember, I forecasted 85 for a high yesterday? We actually made it up to 86. So, yep, that definitely cleared the record. That was 84 degrees set back in the 1900s. For this afternoon, we're looking at the low 80s for the majority of the day. I think our high pops to the mid 80s again, and then you'll notice a couple of rain-cooled showers as a possibility for the city center right around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Okay, so we'll slowly start to drop our temperatures as that next front moves in. Rolls in Monday, Tuesday, and by the Thanksgiving holiday, we are in the 60s. So this first front is actually pretty weak. It's the second one that is just on our heels, rolls in on Monday, that brings us not just some heavy rain and potentially some travel issues Monday and Tuesday, but a much nicer forecast for the holiday. 60s for Thanksgiving Day, mostly cloudy, and I've dropped the rain chance so you do not have to worry about getting to the dinner table if you're keeping it nice and local. If you're traveling, Monday and Tuesday are the days that are going to be a little bit messy on the road, guys, and it's going to be late Monday into early Tuesday. The temperature change, we have to bring on a couple of pattern changes too. So yes, we heat up today before we see the nice drop in temperatures next week. And in between, we'll have to dodge some rain. Today's rain chance 30%, 20% for our Saturday, not bad. And then we take a break on Sunday before we hike it up even higher, 40% rain chances as we head into the start of the coming week. So here's what's going on with our weather pattern. We've got this weak front that's passing through the area today. This brings us just a few showers this afternoon. Then we're talking about a stronger front as we head into Monday. This will make for a little bit of a messy commute, especially if you're traveling up the North Freeway trying to get towards the Dallas-Fort Worth area, even along the I-35 corridor. So if you have turkey dinner plans, say in Austin, San Antonio, Dallas, like I said, it might be a little bit of a slow go, so just stick with us throughout this weekend so we can get you prepped on when the best time frames to hit the road are going to be. 68 degrees this morning. We are down by 5 degrees compared to yesterday because of the added cloud cover. Eventually those clouds do bring us our own rain chance this afternoon. So 2 o'clock looks like the highest likelihood of seeing some rain downtown. Notice a couple scattered showers across the area, so up 59, 69, down to 88. And that could continue until this evening. So that's a snapshot at 7:30. Just keep your umbrella handy and maybe make sure those windshield wipers are working properly because you'll definitely need them next week. Record to tire B was 84. The record yesterday was set back in 1977. The record today to tire B is also 84. And today's record set back in 1999, and guess what? I think we're going to do it again. I think our high temperature today gets right to 85 degrees, so it'll be a close call, but still definitely above average for where we should be for this time of year. In fact, average high temperature should have us in the low 70s. 71 is where we should be. Nowhere near that, of course. We're not even going to stay there past the early morning hours. We're already at 75. By 9. Notice we do have a chance for a couple scattered showers this afternoon, so let me take you to future track. That's the snapshot at 2:30. That's when I think you're probably going to need an umbrella in case you had some late lunch plans. That's when the showers look to blossom along the I-10 corridor. This is a stationary front that's moving through the area, so it's pretty weak. I don't think we're going to see much by way of accumulation, but a quick downpour is still possible until about 7:30. And then we take a brief break until the early morning hours on Saturday. That's a snapshot at 6 o'clock. It is going to be messy, unfortunately, for early morning runners. That's why I suggest you do your run either later on Saturday or on Sunday, because Sunday we have no rain chances as we gear up for some heavier rain that comes in on Monday. So that's a snapshot of your rain potential. We have a 30% chance for today, only a 20% chance for early Saturday morning, no rain on Sunday, and then much higher rain chances Monday into early Tuesday. I know you don't see anything on the snapshot for Tuesday afternoon. This is a snapshot for the afternoon time frame, but early Tuesday you could still see some showers. That rain is going to work out a nice cool down for our atmosphere. So notice we go from the 80s down to the 70s by the start and middle of the coming week. By the holiday time frame, we're in the 60s, and we take that all the way through Thanksgiving weekend. The temperature trend shows colder than normal for the country, and that comes just in time for Thanksgiving. So 60s, mostly cloudy, no rain chance. That is absolutely perfect for getting to the dinner tables. Now we're also tracking above average rainfall for the end of the month into the start of December, which is a good thing because the drought monitor shows we need it. Extreme drought for our western cities and counties all the way to the hill country. So the rainfall that we have incoming, not necessarily today or tomorrow, but really next week, could put a dent in that drought monitor as we are looking at a few inches early next week. And your heads up, we do have a small chance for some localized street flooding early Monday. It's marginal, so it's the lowest threat, but something to keep an eye out as you look at that 7-day forecast.